go straight into it. I mean, I maybe rush too much when I draw, when I paint. I go into a frenzy, and I just get carried away. And at times, I know my end result is probably sacrificed. The drawing is not as careful, but for me, it's not that important. So I'm just going to start just getting the bottom line first. Okay, I'm just going to do what I feel is the horizon line very quickly, without any fear. I mean, at the end of the day, this can then be rubbed out, whatever. Try and get the tip of the rock more or less where it's going to end, and then start, you know, I'll probably get it wrong, but very quickly marking out the important bits. And again, artistic license, you know, some bits don't have to be exact. And I'm doing this very quickly, okay? Just to get a quick rendering of the actual shape itself. My main concern now is to more or less start getting things into place. I'm not really concerned, I'm never concerned about exactitude. I mean, I don't think painting should be a replacement or try and emulate photography. What I end up with is my interpretation of a scene or whatever. I mean, if I wanted to get an exact copy of what I see here, I just do the photograph. But that's not me. So I'm just going to start enjoying this and relax and start trying to get the drawing more or less in place. Okay, this line, I'm just going to see where it takes me, and then I can always correct it. I've already broken the pencil. It's something I do. I usually press too much. Soy un bruto. But it's true. Okay, that's already now coming together. Now I'm looking for that reference, that notch bit, the notch I think it's called. This is, and then there's, I mean, the rock fascinates me as a shape. I'm actually doing walks and treks up the rock now, and I never tire of trying to understand how it works. Obviously, I do have a fair idea of how the shape is. And one good thing about the rock, one interesting thing, is that it varies depending on where you look it from. I once did a piece for my, when I was studying in the UK, I was studying art, I did a photographic slideshow of the rock. And I actually took different views from all around the rock, and every way you look at it is completely different. So, you know, people in the UK just couldn't understand what it was like, what the real shape was like. And I said, look, it all depends on where you look at it from. My favorite view is this one, the northern end, as seen from La Linea. I mean, I love this bit here. It's like a triangle that's cut off the rock. And it comes down, and there's like, again, the dripping paint is very suitable for this because it actually emulates. Imagine how the rock was constructed millions of years ago, made out of limestone, and it's like molten stone, if you can have that. So now, you know, I'm starting to get, and the more you press, the darker the line would be. So I start to look at the dark areas. Again, without fear, sin miedo. There's nothing that cannot be fixed, except death. Nothing, I mean, I remember when I was in school, kids used to worry about sharpened pencils. I mean, look at that. There's no point at all. But I'm just so carried away by what I'm doing that I'm not concerned about that. So I'll use whatever I'm allowed to use by the actual material itself. And you know, and just last week I did a life drawing, a painting, where I didn't use a brush at all. I actually started using a sponge and completed the whole painting with a sponge. I'll show you that painting later on. Oh, the hell keeps breaking. And like you see, I'm improvising. I'm inventing bits and pieces. At the end of it, you won't be able to see these details, so it's not that important. There'll be a trace of it, so you know, I'm trying to get things in the right order, in the right place. But it's not that important to me. I think the rock is more or less, the shape is more or less there. Now I'll just start defining a bit more. This is an interesting notch as well. It just cuts out of the rock. And then there's a shadow there that actually comes down like that, so I'm going to try and already mark that out. This part is further inside, so it's going to be darker. Especially that bit there, it's right in the darkest bit of the rock. It's cold and it's dark in there. Actually, I wish I could walk up there one day. Vale, let's start getting colour in it. Okay, now I'm just going to get the background in blue. And again, not concerned about, that's another thing people, you know, go into the line. Forget about that, just get the feeling and the energy in there, you know, enjoy that. Don't be inhibited about, ay, que se me ha salido el hecho. I've seen kids do really nice paintings in school, and they spoil it because they went over the outline, so I ruined it. Nada, a disfrutar, que se acaba el mundo. Okay, let's get some more blue in there. Maybe darken it at the top. I mean, the good thing about this, I don't know how it's going to end up looking. I've got an idea. Blue, let's have a look. There's plenty of blue on the rock itself. But I'll get a bit of blue in there. This is quite dark. This section it's behind, so it's going to be darker. Okay, different color. Very basic stuff. I'm just going to get an ochre for the bottom bit. Get the idea of sand. I don't know whether this has been done before. I mean, watercolor on canvas is not a very common, way to paint. But why not? You know, I believe in trying out new things, new ideas. Caution to the wind. Okay, roof color. Now I'm just completely improvising. I'm going to get a purple in now. And a cool colour in there. And behind there. And over there. Okay, now greens.